Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Josh. What's going down? What's poppin'? What's new? What's good in the hood? Today I decided to, coming at you live from Southern California during the witching hour. But I decided to upload and talk about my experience back in 2015 with LSD. I think it was between August 18th to 25th, 2015, and I was 20 years old, and this experience is basically a cautionary tale to anyone out there to just respect the chemical, the power that it has. I'm going to mainly be talking about that night, and it's essentially going to be like a trip report from my perspective, how I felt. But I'm also going to go into the aftermath because it did kind of change my life, and the effects were noticeable for years to come. So yeah, so how it goes is I was in Kansas with my dad. We were just out there, and I was living life, and I was staying in an apartment. I was 20 years old. I had money. I was just staying, pay by the month apartments, and like hotel apartments. And I remember some dudes that I was hanging out with wanted to do LSD, and then they were telling me that like they could get it if I ever wanted some pure LSD, let them know. So I went into kind of a little tiny meditation for a couple days. Did some research. Not enough. I essentially figured out if you taste it and there's no taste whatsoever, it's just like water, then it's good. If it tastes bitter, whatever, metallic, copper, bloody, it's no good. You want LSD 25, which is tasteless. So inactive in extremely small amounts. So what I was used to before that, maybe I could count on one hand how many times I had done LSD was little tabs, and those hits were $10, right? So I call up these people. I'm like, yeah, man, like I really want to trip. I want to trip out on some LSD. And they're like, okay, cool. Well, you know where to meet us and everything. So we got together and drove down to Planet Fitness. And I started that night out with roughly $500 in my wallet. I think 600 actually. And parked the car and went one by one into dude's car to get our LSD, and I was the last one. And a dude had like a dropper, right, like a little vial, and he's like, all right, how much you want? It's $10 a hit. I hand him a 20, and I'm like, yeah, give me 2 hits, and I'm thinking these are just like tabs. Well, so I take 2 hits on my tongue, and it's pure, it's tasteless, whatever. I'm like, cool, okay. And so I get in the car, and we start headed back to the outskirts of this big town of Wichita. The outskirts, this little suburb called Andover, and we were going there. And one of my friends was like, oh dude, I didn't get my hit, so I was telling him, no problem, just call the dude, tell him we're coming back, we want more or whatever. So that's what we did. And then I thought, yeah, I think I could go for another couple hits. I think I'm ready. So I went back in, I handed him another 20, and he said, where do you want it? And this time I was like, one in each eye. And so it was done. And we went back to the safe house in Andover, and we were all there around this round table. It's maybe about 5 of us. And we were all smoking weed, and I was the only white dude there. I'll just say that. But at one point, another white guy comes, and he's followed by like this kind of, I don't know, I guess he's Mexican, and I really start tripping out, and I look at his friend that I've never seen before. I'm like, aren't you the guy that sold me the LSD? Did you sell? You're playing with me, aren't? Yeah, no, I don't know, but I couldn't be sure. So, I went back to the table, smoking, and for some reason I got really nauseous, and I ran outside and I puked. And I remember the other white guy that came with the Mexican dude I never seen before. He was like, "Hey, Josh, we're gonna go get some sticks, man. Some blunt wraps, for the weed. Let me borrow your car, man." And so me just coming up and having these feelings of elation, I sure, here you go, handed him the keys to my truck, and so he goes off to the store, and I go sit down, and time is starting to slow down a lot. Um, Time is really slowing down. So I basically am freaking out about them stealing my car, or the white guy stealing my car. I'm like, D stole my car, I know it, da, da, da. And my homies are like, no, calm down. C went with him, and C's like he, whatever. But I was so certain, and no one could convince me otherwise in this mind state, because the white dude was not old enough to buy. He was 17, I think, at the time, so he wasn't old enough to buy tobacco products. He wasn't old enough to buy blunt wraps. So I was like, he stole my car. I know it for sure. But this guy C that went with him was 20, my age, and he bought the sticks. So I didn't want to hear that. I just thought, like, it was a done deal. They stole my car. It's over with, and I guess someone had like let him know or whatever, told him to get back, and he had gotten back, and he had the keys out in front of him, because like the Mexican guy that was with him was like I kept pacing back and forth in the safe house. I woke up a couple people that were allowing us all to trip there. There were a couple, and I was like, I think I'm having a heart attack. But the Mexican dude looked at the window, or at the screen door. He's like, "Is that your car out there? Like, is that your truck, dude?" And I'm like, no, that's my ass. Like, I go out there anyway. I think he like kind of pushed me out the door, like gave me a little helping shove, and I see D kind of like running up with the stick, with the keys, and oh my god, dude, I'm so sorry. Here are your keys. I was like, give me that, and grabbed the keys. Started up the car. And then C is in the seat next to me, right? So, I'm just like, get back, and I'm just pushing him and shit. And he gets out of the car, and then I fucking peel out of there. And I peel onto this to the Andover Road, and this little complex that we're in, this was like, there's little mobile homes, trailer park, whatever. But it's important, because that's where we were staying at. But I was trying to get back to my hotel, apartment hybrid, and I thought that, like, okay, somehow I got my keys, back. I got my car back. I got my wallet. I'm not, in danger or anything. Everything's fine. I just need to get back to my hotel, deal with it there. That was what was going through my mind, and I was tripping really hard at the time too. So I had like just really trying to like breathe and do things, just tell myself, oh, you just took some LSD, you're gonna be fine, rolling down the windows, rolling up the windows, turning on the radio, turning off the radio, turning it up and down. And I was passing these churches, right? The Midwest is a very religious place, so there's fucking churches everywhere. So church after church, I cross a bridge, and I'm having this hallucination that, like, my car, which is a green truck, green Ford, was like a dragon, and I was riding the dragon, and if I got off the dragon, I would die. I would just physically just decompose and die. So I had to keep going. I had to get to my destination, which I knew was the hotel. But I'm going on this road, and I make it to the freeway, or the highway, I guess, that leads onto the freeway. Where Andover Road and then this US 54 meet. So the last thing I remember is turning right. Well, I remember a lot because I've had time to think about all this shit. So, but the last conscious decision I made was to turn right, and I turn right onto the thing, onto the highway, and I start going right, and, just before the on-ramp that leads to where I need to go, where I was conscious of where I needed to go, back to my hotel, so I could trip out there and deal with it there. There was a little kind of rest stop place called a Quick Trip, and I pull into there, get out of my truck, and I walk in the front door, and I said to the clerk, "Call 911, they stole my truck." And the dude kind of just looks over at me. He's like, "What? No, okay." And then so I start pacing back and forth, and I don't know. My lawyer says I laid down like on the floor of the. I never got to see the actual footage inside what happened, but at some point my wallet fell out of my shorts that I was wearing, and I had was pacing, and I had seen it, and then all of a sudden went into like frenzy mode, attack mode, whatever. I grabbed up my wallet, thought that he was trying to snatch it or whatever. Like he had the phone, he was putting it up to his ear. I jumped on the counter, slapped it out of his fucking hand or whatever. Jumped on his side, ran around, back out the doors into the truck that I just said was stolen. And then continued to drive on the highway towards this on-ramp that was going to take me to my hotel, so I could deal with it there. I got my wallet and everything. Well, all of a sudden, in the midst of a hallucination of like some weird secret alien abduction program, and everybody in my life is just actors, and it's all a big stage and setup, and the only thing real is like probably my dog or my dad or something, some couple meaningful things. I had this voice, and it told me, if you do not turn left right now, you will die. So I fucking turned left, and I hit a oncoming car. This is at like probably like 12 o'clock to 3 in the morning. I hit an oncoming car, and it's a Dodge Ram, and I bang right into it, right, like T-bone it practically. The guy's okay and everything, whatever, the truck's fine, and I guess I kind of like lean out the side of my car, and I'm like, help me, I'm on LSD, like take me to the hospital. And the dude kind of like does a little inspection or whatever, like out his car door, and then he just drives away, right? And so now I'm alone. I just crashed my car into another car going the opposite direction because a voice told me to, and I'm tripping on a fuck ton of LSD. So I assess the situation. I'm like, okay, well, my car's a little damaged. I got my keys, wallet, phone, money, whatever. I'm just gonna I'm gonna take it to the hotel and deal with it there. Deal with whatever comes when it comes. And then so I get back, I start my car, it worked, and went back on. I was trying to make it turn right into this on-ramp, and the same thing, the same exact voice. When you're on LSD, things get really spiritual, so I could have perceived it as the devil, God, in this frame of mind during this time. I did what it told me to do, which was turn left right now, because I was going to die if I didn't. So I turned left, and imagine this, I hit another Dodge Ram. I think they were both like silver or white too. And I do the same kind of number. I'm like, help me, I'm tripping on LSD, take me to the hospital, da da da. And the dude does his little kind of peek out the car inspection, and nope, you know, and then fucking drives backwards. So at this point, car's totaled. Fucking dude just drove backwards. I'm thinking time is going in reverse, and I'm frying so fucking hard. Um, you know, I just go over to the median, to the very edge of the road, which is there's some grass, there's barbed wire, and then you know taller grass behind the barbed wire and trees. And I had like made it over the barbed wire somehow, um, and I was just fucking writhing around in the grass, right? Um, you know, I just kept writhing. I just kept writhing. I was thinking about everything that some of the homies were saying before I like started to really freak out. You know, Josh doesn't have to be this way. You know, just relax, chill out. You know whatever this and that. And I'm just fucking flailing back and forth in this grass, and then like you know I see something up, right, and I get up and I kind of make it to the barbed wire fence, and um, I'm looking at these cops pulling up, right, like, and I would say this is the only like visual type hallucination that I had during the trip, but like a cop would pull up, get out their car, turn their flashlight on, start to look at my wrecked vehicle and shit. But every time I would yell out, for help, they would kind of like with each like vocal sound, they would like robotically get back into their car, turn off their flashlight, drive backwards away, and this happened over and over and over and over and over again. 100, 200 times. So I just ripped off the chains that I was wearing. Freaking, I don't know why I did that, but I peeled the barbed wire at the bottom of the fence. Like I lifted it open and scooted myself like onto the side of the road. And as soon as I did that, boom, there's just 3 cops standing over me. And a little embarrassing part, the barbed wire fence like did catch, and it took my shorts with me, and I was freeballing that night. So now all of a sudden I'm fucking naked. I just have a flannel on, and there's 3 cops standing over me, flashlight on my sack. And so I'm like, I somehow have this moment of clarity, and I'm saying, my name is Joshua Barnhart. I'm tripping on LSD. I need to go to Wesley Medical Center. I have nothing sharp on me that will poke you, stab you, or cut you, sir. And I feel like that, and being that I was in the Midwest, the color of my skin probably helped. Saved my fucking life. Because what I did next was just another, wave. So, they said something to the effect of, "All right, okay, well, just relax." Some bullshit. Wouldn't hear it. I got up, fucking kicked the pig in the balls, turned around, and started running towards the Quick Trip that I just came from, thinking that if I made it there, then I would be back in this time loop from where, like, before I crashed my car the second time, but after the first, so I'd be able to fix what I just did and make it back to the hotel, and then boom, everything went black. So I'd gotten tased, and I started like screaming from the void. It felt like I tripped over a log or something. But I was like, I have $500 in my wallet. You can have it all. Just don't fucking kill me. You can have it all. My wallet's over there. Just don't fucking kill me. Whatever you do, don't fucking kill me. And this was crazy because these homies were talking about how powerful this acid was, and that somebody else had gone through a similar thing like the week prior. They'd gotten tased and bullshit. Anyway, so I came to kind of, with the cops standing over me, and I'm in some sort of like, single hospital gown or smock or whatever, handcuffed, and basically to the left of him, there's an ambulance, like going kind of towards the direction of where I came from, in Andover, the small town. and to the right of him is a cop car, and going towards downtown and shit. Well, the first thing I remember is him saying, "Where do you want to go?" And I spat out the words Wesley Medical Center. So he says, "All right," and this is, I forgot to mention, maybe the second visual hallucination that I had. He transforms to a fucking paramedic, like before my eyes. Um, and somehow I get I get strapped onto this gurney or whatever, fucking rolled onto the back of it, into the ambulance, fucking tripping out, man. There's this oxygen tank at the very bottom of the gurney, and I could press my right foot one way, and it would kind of pivot and it would turn, and then I could press my left foot the other, like down, and it would pivot and turn the other way. So I was like still driving in a sense, but I was also dying because I was in the back of a fucking ambulance tripping on LSD. And as I'm being rolled up, excuse my language, I don't say this often at all, only when quoting rap music, but I look him straight in the eyes, and he looks like that fucking dude who sold me the LSD. And I'm like, "Are you my nigga? Are you my nigga? Tell me you're my nigga." And like, so shit, like, he put that in the report too, but he used a worse verbiage than me. But that's possible. But yeah. Anyway, so I still don't know if that was a cop or a paramedic. I think that was a cop. But like, I ended up being, in the back of the ambulance or whatever, and I was fucking like writhing and shit, and the most beautiful girl, like, I swear, like, some blonde angel look, I can't even see her face, it's like looking into the face of God, was like, "Okay, you need to stop moving or we're gonna put the neck brace on," because they're trying to cut open my flannel. I don't know why they just didn't fucking unbutton it. I specifically remember scissors to inject some fucking fluids or fucking benzos or nice or whatever into me. And like, I just couldn't stop moving. And she's like, okay, we're gonna put the neck brace on. And then, I go from moving and shit, and all of a sudden I can't move. I can't fucking look around and shit. So I'm like, "Oh, bitch done broke my neck." And essentially fucking little flashes of being at the hospital. I think they forged my signature so they could fucking check my blood. Found THC in my blood. And anyway, so next thing I remember, I'm in the back of a fucking cop car. Really, really fucking tired. And like, fuck, like, I'm on probation in another county because I got into it with my cousin or something, and it got made public. Fucking, like, I just did all this shit. Like, I don't know what all I did, but I did a fuck ton of shit just now. I'm probably going to jail for a long time. And I get to jail. They put me in the holding. They didn't even change me out or anything. And about 15 hours later, they had opened my door, and they buzzed it open and said, "Barnhart, here we go, time to get processed," or whatever. I go up, and the lady says, "It's your lucky day, you're going home." Okay, where do I sign? So I fucking wrote on this fucking thing, it says, I, have a year, basically, like, I don't know if it was saying if I have, like, a year to get my affairs in order, or if it was even noticed, like, I don't know, because I think it was explained to me by somebody I walked out with that I had 5 to 7 years that I could go not getting in trouble, not getting in any sort of trouble, not getting my name ran through the system, whatever, whatnot, and they dismissed the charges. It's called held without prejudice. These charges were held without prejudice, in like the most fucking hardcore state, against drugs and shit. So, I was like, okay, cool. I know where I'm going. I'm fucking gonna stay out of trouble in San Diego. Fuck all these fools here. I'm just gonna go. Like, so I went and ran out of money pretty quick. Just was homeless with my dog for a little bit. And fucking then came up on a bunch of money again. And got this car, and then wanting to do things legally and shit and by the book. I noticed that my license is suspended, right? So my license being suspended, I was like, well, what's it from? What do I have to do? And the judge says, or the DMV person says, it's from 2013. This is 2016 now. Like August 2016. It's from 2013. Possession of under an ounce of cannabis on school grounds. Possession of rolling tobacco. And I had to go to juvenile court to fix it. So I went there, basically was like, hey, look, judge, like, they prevented me from going to my senior prom. They made me do these school-funded NAAA freaking sessions, some weird shit like that. I did them. I tried to get records, but they don't keep anything but the transcripts after 2 years. They destroy them, is what they said. I tried to get evidence of that, but I couldn't. And she's like, okay, well, just do like 20 NA meetings by November and you're good. I'm like, okay, well, can I get my license? And she's like, yeah, you can get your license, you're clear, the hold's lifted, you're good. Fuck yeah, great, cool. So, I'm back to doing fucking normal citizen shit. And, about 3 weeks later, I get stopped in my car, like sleeping in a church in Garden Road. Some of you might know where that is, some probably not, but I ended up getting stopped, and these pigs were saying that I have a nation. What'd you do in Wichita, Kansas? They run my name, all chill. Oh, we just want to make sure you're not America's top most wanted. Da da da. And fuck, sure, here you go. Run my name, and then all of a sudden, I'm a fucking nationwide felon, and I got a warrant out in every state, because of this shit in Kansas, and they're like, what you do in Wichita, Kansas? What you do in Wichita, Kansas? I don't fucking know, you tell me, you're the pig. And that was around a year, straight a year after the shit happened, so it was like August 18th to 25th of 2016. And so they held me for about 8 days. Fucking couldn't believe it when I seen Kansas pigs coming to get me. And they extradited my ass. I lost my dog. That sucked. My aunt couldn't take my dog. I had called people, believe me, but nobody could take him. He went to the shelter. I don't know. And seeing Kansas pigs coming to get me in the San Diego jail is just fuck, dude. Like, they took me in a rental from the jail down to this private tarmac, this private airspace or whatever. This whole time, mind you, I don't even know my fucking charges. Nobody's fucking telling me my fucking charges. It's like illegal extradition, and they're fucking like, I'm fucked. Like, I'm like, what the fuck? And and this last time I'm looking at the palm trees and these fucking the beach head shit, and I'm like, dude, just tell me what the fuck I did, dude. Just tell me. You must know something. Tell me just one of the charges that you're bringing me back on. And then dude's like, oh, something like battery, law enforcement officer, I don't know, assault, criminal damage to property, whatever. A lot of some fucking hefty shit, right? And I'm like, Oh, that, right. So, fucking spent the next 3 months in jail. Got out in the middle of the night, in November, in Kansas, um, in swimming trunks and t-shirt like this, and sandals, like flip-flops. And I had my wallet. I think I probably had my keys. And yeah, that was kind of the beginning of a lot of probation and shit that I couldn't do, jail time and shit. But what's funky about that is where the whole thing started, right? I stayed at a hotel after getting out of jail for a few. I had money, you know. I stayed at a hotel again for a few weeks or whatever until I found this apartment. Um, and this apartment was in the. My dad actually helped find it. It was in the fucking same complex of where it all started at, just a few houses down. You know, life is a circle. So, yeah, I didn't do LSD for 3 years after that. You know, it really changed my life. I haven't done salvia in about 6 years, but I did enjoy that until it fucking freaked me out. Um, yeah, so probably since like early 2016, and yeah, so that's kind of what I went through, and you know, and just part of the shit that made me the man I am today. Um, if you're gonna take LSD, respect it. You know, respect the chemical. Um, you know, be nice to the drug, whatever. Um, and a lot of people can handle like 4 drops and shit, but I didn't know what I was getting into. I don't think the setting was right either. Um, you know, may have had a good time on just 2, um, but I took it overboard. Which I tend to do a lot in life, but yeah. So this was essentially my trip report. LSD has really helped me out in a lot of ways. It was painful losing my dog, um, but I've learned a lot of lessons about being a man. Um, I've you know, had different, like totally changing opinions and videos coming up about this, about abortion. Um, because now I'm kind of like more on the side of if I was with a girl and I got her pregnant, that I would want to encourage life. Um, because my whole life, for as long as I could remember, I was pro-choice. I believe that was kind of against what my mom believed in. You know, she had those little baby feet pins, you know, and I believe I have one somewhere. Um, but anyway, might do a video on that sometime. But yeah, this was my crazy ass fucking experience. Landed me in jail, fucking, uh, you know, all sorts of other shit. It was insane to for a 20-year-old to deal with. So, peace out, YouTube.